The answer's no. To answer your question, it's no. No. The video's over, you may leave, go home. Enjoy your evening or morning or afternoon, whatever time it is where you are at. Ricky Elliott does not believe me. Raw 2.0 refuses to believe that I am not good with women. He is strongly committed to this argument, and he's going to tell me why momentarily once I give him the mic. Here's the mic.
Oh. Yes.
That sounds like the more interesting video right there.
We should have done it. Yes, okay. You being able to approach random women to invite them to your home to record a video.
That sounds so...
Case closed.
It sounds so, like, wrong when you phrase it like that.
Isn't that the truth?
It is the
Vanilla?
truth. Okay, sure. Yes, I am inviting them to my own. But, like, fortunately, there's, like, a log of videos they can look at to go, oh, clearly he has been doing this. It still looks suspect.
What if this is the one that isn't? What if this is not those videos? They don't know. That's a trap.
Yeah, it could be a trap.
You're a fiend.
Yeah.
Look at it. But it's like when we were at Starbucks the other day. Didn't you just out of the?
That's true.
People can't do that.
But I was okay. So what people need to understand is when I do that, I'm nervous. I'm just fighting the nerves. Like I walked up to that girl, and inside I was shivering. Right?
No one said you're like cocky though. You can still be good and not cocky.
I know, but the idea is
you
like
can still be nervous and be good.
The idea comes off differently though when people say that. It comes off like, "Hey, baby,
Are you?
I want you to come on my channel." You know what I'm saying?
Are you ever not nervous during an audition?
With commercial auditions, I'm a lot less nervous than I used to be because I've seen the other side of it. But like with girls, I'm almost always nervous when I walk up to them and talk to them, romantically or for the channel. It's always weird. It's always weird. I'm like, cause how do you? Yeah, it's always awkward.
For me, it's like you walk up to a girl, and it's like, you say hi and you shake their hand, but really you're playing 30 years in your head and you're trying to see your future and you're trying to see if you like the ending.
Oh my
it's
God.
Like, you let go when you're like, you're too deep. It's like, oh shit, now we're dying together. Let's go back to being friends.
Ricky and I are cut from the same cloth. Because that's exactly how I think of it, except you go deeper than I did. I thought I was weird. You are way weirder than me. I'm learning things right now.
This is a short film idea I had. But
no, so here's what I do. Like when I talk to, there's a saying, particularly like in liberal parts of the world, there's a saying that a girl knows if she's going to have sex with you within the first 5 minutes of talking to you. Right? Mm-hmm. And I actually know within the first 5 minutes of talking to a girl whether or not I can see myself dating them for a year. That's where my mind goes. I don't go to sex immediately. I go to, can I see myself with this person for a year?
Well, yeah, but I do that with men and being friends with them.
Oh, I was like, whoa, that's not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, not at all.
But I was like, it was just an ellipses and it stopped. I was like, ... I'm sitting really close to you, Ricky.
No.
Raw 2.0.
I know what you're saying, but it's like when you talk to someone for the first time that you always go through that, like whether or not they're like male or female, but you're going past that. You're asking their name and then you're asking for something from them. That's the part where it's like you're good with them.
I guess the reason why I don't see myself as good is because I've seen good. I've seen men who are good at talking. Like I hung out with.
You've seen players.
No, but not even players. Like I hung out with Max Landis, right? And I watched him walk up to a group of people, and they didn't know him. He wasn't famous Max Landis at the time. He wasn't really known by anyone, and he just inserted himself into the conversation and made the conversation about himself somehow, but not in an egotistical way, but in a way that was just charismatic. And I was like, that's the superpower I want right there. That's like my dad's superpower. I want to be able to do that. And so when people say I'm good at talking to random people, I'm like, I'm okay. Like, I know people who are good at it. I'm all right. You just suck at it. I'm just joking. I'm like, not...
I have no comment on the Max Landis story there. I was about to do an impression of him because
that's the only positive thing you'll hear me say about him tonight.
American Alien was amazing. Let's talk.
American what?
American Alien. It's a Superman comic he wrote last year.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It's because it's a comic.
I mean, I didn't even see it on the shelf. You know?
When's
At
the
the
last time
comic
you
book
saw
store.
a comic on a shelf?
At the comic book store. I've been to comic book stores.
Take me.
There's one right down the street. Anyway, okay, so there's just some. I wanted to use this opportunity to kind of like dispel or disabuse certain notions, because the funniest thing is like people see what I'm doing, and there's most people are just like it's normal, whatever, but then there are people who are like, oh, Jaby friend zones himself with all these women. And I'm like, what?
I have heard people say about your videos that you do it for views.
Well, no, okay. Do you know why I do it? Have I told you?
No, I actually don't.
Okay, so
For views.
if you're no, if you're wondering why there's always a woman or a black dude or someone of ethnic descent next to me, it's because YouTube is the most popular people on YouTube are white guys, for the most part, right? They're usually white males. If you think of the top 2 YouTubers right now, it's Logan Paul and PewDiePie, 2 white blonde hair.
God, is that true?
Yeah, and so. Who else do you know of that's a top YouTuber? Philip DeFranco, white guy. Casey Neistat, white guy. And I mean, there is Superwoman, an Indian woman who's either Canadian or from New York. I forget which one.
Me too.
But she's like the only popular ethnic woman I can think of on YouTube that's American. And so I go, well, what can I do to kind of reshape that a little bit? I always bring on women because women are always like our voices are unheard. I'm like, well, here, make your voice heard. Now you got an opportunity. So whenever. I mean, people are going to argue against this because of the recent videos of TVF inmates with Olena Fomina, but I always give women the opportunity to speak when they're on my channel. If they talk, I wait. I listen. Unless I'm very, very passionate about my point and want to mansplain it, I wait. I'm just being ironic on purpose. No, but like that's why, and so like that's why any dudes you see, usually John Humphrey is the only white guy I can think of that has come on my channel. Other than that, like, it's always an ethnic dude next to me if it's a dude.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah. So I'm basically doing my small part to give the platform to those who don't usually have the platform, which is women and minorities in the States.
Isn't it funny, though, how that, it's just like, because we're not used to seeing a bunch of women.
Now it's automatically on a player. Yeah.
What the hell is your end game?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you doing here?
Now, to full disclosure, full transparency, I have asked out girls who have been my guests on my channel. To my, how would I phrase this?
Detriment?
To my credit.
Oh, credit.
To it, you know, as my track record goes, anytime I've asked out a guest, it's been successful.
cut the thing.
No, it has. I'm just being honest. Like, not that I like. But I'm not sleeping with all my guests that come on my channel. In fact, most of the ones that I bring on already have boyfriends. So I'm not like only bringing on women to sleep with them. I want that notion dispelled, disabused forever. It's like I'm bringing on women that are interesting. That's the important thing to me, for me to communicate. Is like if I was just bringing on women to sleep with them, you'd probably see them one time and then they'd be gone for good. Like I'm always bringing back the interesting guests.
That's a good point.
You know.
And at that point, I now have requests. Rachel Great,
Yeah,
Perry
what
Nemiroff. That's the end of my list.
Most
Hashtag bring them back.
Yeah. I think all the guests I bring back are with someone. So, you know, I have no end game there. Like there really isn't. It's just I want to just be real with y'all. I'm shitty when it comes to picking up women. Whenever I get into a relationship, I'm gonna phrase this the way Sintel phrased it. I always stumble into a relationship. I'm always like in a relationship by accident. I'm like, oh, so that's what we're doing. Okay. All right then. I guess we'll just ride this out for the next 5 years.
And then the 5th year comes, and then like, oh, so we just gonna throw away 5 years? That's what we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how all my relationships start, and they just as well end that way too. They end kind of accidentally and abruptly. It's like, oh, it's over now. I see. Okay. Well, let's just take another year to get over that.
Yeah. So what are you doing to give a voice to the male population?
Nothing. I am the male population.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
He doesn't represent us.
Yeah.
We'll put a little disclaimer at the bottom.
Yeah.
Jaby Koei is not affiliated with the male. Anyways, population.
You know, I want to take this in a different direction just for fun. How do you feel about? This is such a bad idea. I'm gonna do it anyway. I was watching a video by a Republican dude who strongly and firmly believes that there are only two genders. How do you feel about that?
But this has gone an odd direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, it's organic.
There isn't two genders? There isn't?
If you go on Facebook, there's like a bajillion different options for non-binary or something. Like, like a woman who identifies as a man who identifies as a woman. And I actually got into a little bit of a debate with Achara about this because I'm like, yeah, but biologically, you're still a woman or you're still a man.
But what's the question? Is there only one to identify or two to
well,
identify?
I mean, so you don't know about this, like?
No, I know there's a bunch of different options
Yeah.
for that, but like, is the question, is there more than two that you can identify as? Or are you saying
how do you feel about this thing that people are trying? Basically, the argument in the video, which I am slightly inclined to agree with, even if that makes me sound ignorant. I'm sorry, just being real. I'm slightly inclined to agree with is that it's like you're taking a handful of people, the anomalies, and you're imposing that belief system on everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm inclined to disagree with that because the argument he was making was, in school you're taught human beings have 10 fingers, 10 toes generally. Yeah. Anyone who has more or less is an anomaly, and you don't then say, well, humans have 11 fingers, 12 fingers. It's like, no, humans have 10 fingers, 10 toes, generally speaking. Anomalies are this. And you don't, like, reclassify the human race based on the anomaly.
There was a joke about this, which got him in a bit of trouble. You should watch it. On Dave Chappelle's last stand-up for Netflix. Not the one that just came out. It only came out a few months ago. Where he was talking about, like, a man who now identifies as a woman. He's like, I don't know. You got to put a warning out there. How am I supposed to... You're forcing this on me. Yeah. I know what it's like... I'm just responding to what I see. Right. It's a man in a dress.
Right. Well, here's the thing. I have no issue...
Am I supposed to ignore?
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird in the sense that not like you're weird and gross. It's weird in the sense that it's not normal that you see that. It's not an everyday thing. It's not an everyday occurrence. Most people don't do that. Now, that being said, I have no issues. If you want to be a man who dresses as a woman, if you want to be a cross-dresser, that's fine. If you're a man who identifies as a woman, I have no issues with that. Where I run into a problem is where it gets confusing because you have a non-binary gender, and I'm like, how am I supposed to know that looking at you? There's no way. My argument was this, like, because in the video, it was I think it was a lesbian woman who was like, it offends me that you're calling me a woman when I'm non-binary. Like, you are, she said it was like a violent assault that he was calling her a woman instead of non-binary, which is how she wants to be addressed, and how people should be addressed by what they identify as.
It sounds like the person who wants tolerance isn't tolerant.
Right.
Like, you have to forgive people for not knowing because this is the fluid nature of your fluid nature is a fluid nature.
Right.
We're all learning this.
Well, my whole thing was, like, if I wanted to be called... nomenclature, banana, hammock, Consuela, princess, camera operator, Uncharted 2. If that was my name, and I expected you to say that to me every time you addressed me, that would be ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you can't call me him, you can't call me he, she, they, but that long dumb name I just came up with off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Right? That's ridiculous, right? And so they want to be addressed as their, or they, or them. And that just kind of messes with me a little bit because I'm like, you're one person.
Have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, so maybe you haven't seen that episode with, like, they go to this planet where Rick had dated this, like, hive mind being who is everyone. So they always
that's a they.
As they.
That's a they.
It's like, but it's like really a they. It's like people want to be called like a they or a they.
Well, here's the one instance where I would appropriately use the word they is if you have multiple personality disorder, then I would definitely
James McAvoy.
Then I would, for split I would call you a they, or a them or their.
Look I'll call you whatever you want me to. Don't be mad if I get it wrong the first time.
Don't get mad at me if I get it wrong 100 times.
Or that. It's like forgetting someone's name. You know, I'm violently assaulted that you thought my name was Richardo. You know how many times people call me Richardo? I haven't met one person named Richardo. That's not a real name. White people.
All right. I get it. So, the Han Solo movie.
What?
That's totally Eastern appeal, right? Or China. I know there's probably like no Chinese people watching this from China, but China.
What about
That's a
China?
market. So
No, it's not, because Star Wars didn't come out in China for the original trilogy. You didn't know this?
no, but the new ones, The Force Awakens, did.
Those were like
and
the
Last
first.
Jedi.
So it doesn't do
Right,
super
but what
well
I'm saying
there
is the
because
Han
of that.
Solo. What the Han. Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Han Solo's like a legacy character. He'll do even worse. He's not
Okay.
Rey and Finn.
All right.
They don't care about Star Wars. Like,
Okay.
people who saw Star Wars there saw them on bootlegs. That's how they came out.
Well, just so y'all know, there's a new Star Wars movie that's gonna do really bad, called the Han Solo story. What's it called? The Solo Story? Is it called Han Solo?
On a Solo story. Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's a dumb naming convention, so I can't blame you.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
What about it? It's gonna fail.
It's gonna
It's
fail.
supposed to come out in 4 months.
It's not gonna come out in 4 months.
It's not gonna come out in 4 months.
It's gonna fail.
But
And
who do we kick the can to? Who's to blame?
I
Is it Ron Howard?
No. I feel like if this was a live stream, we would have seen a drop off from 1,000 people to 500 people the moment I started talking about Star Wars. So we got about 500 viewers right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's read some comments.
How have you been feeling with this new YouTube fame? Like you've been seen a lot. You've
don't
been
know
seen
if
quite
I-
a lot. Like okay, for instance, our Shah Rukh Khan trailer reaction, which was just a discussion, got seen 200,000 and 220,000 times, for instance. People have watched you talk about Shah Rukh Khan. 220,000 people.
They probably
440,000 eyes have been looking at you.
They'd probably be mad I don't know who he is.
No,
I had to
they're
think
forgiving.
for a second what video you're talking about. Now I remember who it was.
Zero.
I didn't even remember the name of the
Yeah, zero.
trailer.
Well, I didn't remember until just now. Yeah, zero. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel
Does
any.
it freak you out? That like not Dodger Stadium's worth of people are.
Well, doing this freaks me out. This is Black Mirror. I'm looking at a Black Mirror.
Oh, Black Mirror. If you guys haven't seen that show, you should watch Black Mirror. It's awesome.
Okay.
I'm
Since
gonna-
we're just doing random stuff, you want to know something fun?
What? What's something fun? I'm just making sure it's still recording. Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when we were doing our reviews,
Yeah.
I knew I had to sort of like be a character. I can't just be myself. So, you know who I modeled my reactions after?
Who?
I just forgot her name.
I don't even know what
Are
you're
you
saying
sure
anymore.
you're the one drinking?
I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
What's her name? I feel so bad, person who I'm gonna remember your name in a second. Start naming women who are frequently on your channel.
Hope James.
There you go.
So you were pretending to be Hope James?
No, not pretending, but the way she reacts.
Uh-huh.
That's me. I'm Hope James.
Wait, I'm confused.
I'm
so,
Black Hope James.
So you just identify with Hope James when you watch stuff?
I do. I feel like outwards, looking at myself, I'm a black man, but inside I'm Hope James.
Okay.
Look at.
Because I thought for a second you were saying that you were putting on an acting performance while you react to videos.
No, I'm just saying the way she externalizes.
Uh-huh. That's how you externalize.
I also.
Okay. The Hope. So inside you're a redheaded white girl. Okay.
I mean, I guess.
Okay.
She doesn't do that. I'm
That
sorry.
works. Inside she's probably a 6'5" black man.
What?
You know, that's Black Mirror. You guys need to watch Black Mirror if you haven't already. That show is trippy. I got Achara and Ricky to watch one of the later episodes in season 4. That was scared the bejesus out of me.
You're gonna like this conversation. It wasn't that scary to me.
Really?
Yes.
It's
It was
sca-
not. It was not even my favorite.
Really?
Yes.
It seemed like Achara said you were scared.
I was reacting. I mean,
It's not
I
like
was
a
like,
camera was on you.
I was into it. I'm not saying I wasn't into it, but like, I don't know. It was. It felt like something I would make, and I didn't like it because of that. Like it was like, it felt like.
We're talking about...
I was underwhelmed by the twist.
I don't know the name of that episode, but...
Oh, I do. It's like a one-word...
Dog?
Like, I almost want to say Hearthstone, but it's not Hearthstone.
Okay, well, it's the black and white one in season 4.
Is it like Blackstone? Or...
I don't know. I don't think people get
But
it.
I was underwhelmed by the twist, like the meaninglessness of it all.
Right.
It felt like something I would make or someone else would make in a 48-hour film competition.
Okay, that's
Not
fair.
that it wasn't done well.
But in general, I think that the Black Mirror episodes are very provocative. Like, they're not provocative. What's the word I'm looking for?
They are, though.
The thought-provoking is what I mean to say. They really make you think about... They make you reflect and think about society, and it's a very strong commentary on society. And they even play with very interesting ideas. There's a lot of overlap in terms of the technology that's used, and it's used in different ways each time. Well, not every time, but most of the time it's used in different ways.
Which makes sense to me. I appreciate it because it's like, if they're trying to predict the future,
right?
Like, they're trying to predict the future. They're not trying to predict multiple futures. They're just jumping off of where we're going right now. So it makes sense if they're keeping things sort of, the same. Like, that's the scarier thing. If our future was all the Black Mirror episodes, not just one of them, right. Because there's that interconnectivity between them all. If it was all of them, if you are Amazon, if Alexa, but it's like a copy of you, or it's like USS Callister. If it was all that, that would, in a way, right now, we are branching off into all those things. That's why they're all scary.
Yeah.
Every single one is a possibility.
You know what's tripping me out is I'm about to pass my brother in subscribers.
Oh, I heard about that. Why does that pass you?
But,
why does that freak you out?
I don't know. It just does. Like, that's because it's been this thing I thought about for a while. Because Gregory is the reason why I got into doing reaction videos at all. If it wasn't for Gregory, I wouldn't be doing reaction videos. Like, he's the person that basically gave me the idea to do it and kind of guided me in doing it. And I for a long time, like, as a YouTuber, you just can't help but compare, like, numbers. Like, you look at your view count, you look at your subscriber count, and you look at different people and whatever. And it's like, of course, I'm going to look at my brother and look at how he's doing. And I'm like, oh my God, we're like 300 subscribers apart as of this video. And that's so, like, I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know if I should, like, not say anything to Greg. Like, he's known for a while that I was going to surpass him in terms of subscribers and views, and he's pretty much accepted it. I haven't yet. I don't know what to do with it. It's a weird feeling.
I see.
It's kind of like realizing you're smarter than your dad or something. Like,
I am.
Yeah, like when you I think it's different for all of us. We all hit that at a different age. Some of us never hit it because our dads are like Sir Isaac Newton or something. Oh, actually, Sir Isaac Newton didn't have any kids. But,
he didn't have any kids.
No, but okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
he had an apple.
If you had a dad like Steve Jobs, like you'd obviously never come to the point where you're smarter than, in terms of like that aspect of reality, technology or whatever. Like, you wouldn't ever hit that point where you're smarter than your dad. You'd be like trying to get.
Here's my problem, and I'm gonna relate it to Star Wars because they're the same.
Okay.
The problem with Episode 1 is that it introduces a faux power level system to something that was unmeasurable before. Midichlorians.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yoda's got 6,000. Now Anakin's got a higher number than Yoda. Never seen this count before. It's all numbers. This is not. You can't measure it. Same thing with you. Like, you can't measure success in, like, subscribers, because isn't it a thing, like, you could not have a bunch of subscribers and you get like millions of views all the time. Like, subscribers don't naturally equate to views.
You're right.
Well,
you're right.
It's just a number.
Yeah, and you got that information from me, actually.
Maybe. It's.
No, but the thing is, it's a very, like, when I hit 500,000, it didn't strike me as hard as knowing that I'm very close to my brother, and like I've been looking at that disparity. Is that the right word?
You're looking at it as a goalpost, really, or like it's a benchmark to you. It's the bar.
Yeah, because my brother was the person, which is weird because he's my younger brother, but that's like what I was looking up to.
Yeah.
And now I'm right up to that. Like, it's almost like I'm about to reach Mount Everest. Now what? Like, that's the question.
I see.
You know what I mean? It's like, now what do I do? Like, there's no. That's it. Like, that was the thing, is just trying to catch up to him, because like for a long time it's always been far, and now it's like right there, and I'm like.
Next thing you do is you send the elevator back down. because I'm not walking up there.
Hey man, you're on for the ride now. You've been seen by 220,000 Indians.
I've been seen by 220,000 Indians before.
What?
Why does that sound wrong?
That does sound wrong. That sounds weird. It doesn't even make any sense. But you've been seen more than that because other videos that you've done on the channel with me and Achara have actually grossed beyond 100,000 views. So, I mean, there's the possibility that it's all the same people revisiting, but still, it's like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, but going back to the thing about your brother, how long has he been doing it? How many years?
I've been on YouTube longer, but he's been active longer than me by about 2 years. So I've been active, like really active, for about 2.5, 3 years, and he's been active for about 4 to 5 years.
I knew about his channel before yours.
How's that even? How?
I follow film stuff. They watch lots of film things.
Okay.
They talk film.
But you saw Animus before you saw his channel.
I didn't know that was on your channel.
How'd you see Animus then?
Wait, have I?
All right, here's how the story goes.
Animus?
Antoine Bondelet.
Oh. It's Bandelay, and it's his birthday. You are not from that French part of Compton.
He told me it's Bondelet like Andale.
He's from that French part of Compton.
Okay, that's a joke from a... Okay, I'm not going to bother explaining the
If
joke.
you explain it,
I'm not going to bother
funny.
explaining it. So, anyway, you guys just need to watch Money Talks. Okay, he recognized me at a restaurant that I was working at as a waiter. And now,
he called it a restaurant.
Shut up. It's a low rent restaurant, okay? It's like, it wasn't a very classy place. But I had to make ends meet, so I was working at a restaurant, and Antoine recognized me there. This is well before the lightsaber fight that we did together. And he calls me by my name, and I'm like, oh shit.
Call me by your name.
And I tried to hide myself. I'm like, God damn it, I don't know what to do now. I'm stuck. And he goes, I'm a big fan of your stuff. And this is before I had like 500 subscribers. He somehow saw my short film, Animus. And then he called up Ricky and said, oh my God, I met Anthony Alba. And he works at blank.
Wasn't Kung Fu Red out at the time too? Because that was the one we were like obsessed with.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's probably what
Kung
it was.
Fu Red was the ish.
Okay.
I love that.
I don't think Kung Fu Red is online anymore on my channel, but yeah.
I don't think I watched it on your channel.
Okay.
That's why I didn't know you even had a channel. I didn't know. That was back when you could message people on YouTube too. So if it was on your channel, we would have messaged you.
Yeah. Did you know the first time I tried reaching out to Ricky Elliott, he completely ignored me?
What? When?
Because I tried talking to Antoine. I went to Antoine and I was like, hey, I need visual effects for this thing. And he's like, you should talk to my boy Ricky. He really loves your stuff. So I messaged you. Nothing. Nothing.
When was this?
And he never picks up his phone calls.
Look it.
Unless it's from his fiance.
Even then I don't.
Yeah.
Because I keep my phone on silent, not even vibrate. I don't like...
Oh, just to bring things back around to the initial part of this conversation.
Women are awesome.
Ricky is insanely good with women.
Oh, God. No. One woman wouldn't... Let go! This boy from Mexico. The other one took hard drugs.
Wait, what? Hold on. You need to explain that.
No, I can't. I did that one already.
Wait, what happened in Mexico?
No, nothing happened in Mexico. It was just like she was here. Oh God, I can't believe I'm telling this story. She was here, and she had someone that she was I guess she was like interested, or I don't know, but he was still in like Mexico. I don't remember. It's been so long now.
Oh, so she couldn't decide if she wanted you or the guy in Mexico.
I suppose, but look it.
I had a situation like that.
I pulled a move, right? I had Pool when I was at Pacific Theaters. Oops, I named names. I should have replaced it. Oh well.
This audience does not know what Pacific Theaters is. Go ahead.
Cool. And this is back when they filmed Extra there with Mario Lopez and Maria Menounos.
Okay, that's a TV show for you guys who don't know.
Oh, I'm still dropping names. I forgot, and they don't know.
It's a TV show where they interview celebrities. Go ahead.
Saved by the Bell. He was on Saved by the Bell.
That was a famous TV show in the States. Go ahead.
And he was my dude. And so I had Pool with like the producer of the show because he'd come in the theater and we'd talk or whatever. And so I bought her flowers. And I knew she was like a fan of Mario, but she had never met Mario. But I got Pool with Mario. I know Mario. So I gave him to the producer, and Mario was gonna come in and give it to her for me. And you know what? I don't know if she found out or she was telling the truth and she just wasn't able to come to work. But that day she didn't come to work.
Wow.
So I gave it to her. I just left them there, and then that was it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I gave up on that. Yeah.
That sucks.
That was just infatuation though, baby. That wasn't real love. But I wanted it. I tried. That was when I was like 50 pounds. No, that's not true. It was after we filmed our lightsaber duel and I put on a bunch of weight, but I still look good because it wasn't fat weight.
I had a situation kind of like that with a girl who, let me see, how do I phrase this? There was a girl I met who, through acting, through auditions, and she struck me as just like gorgeous. She was exotic looking to me. She was quarter black, quarter white, half Native American. Like, and so she was surprised that I was interested in her, but I was like, she just struck me as very like dazzling to look at. And so I was excited to date her, and I was like, she'd be like, I immediately went through the cycle like you do. I went through the whole thing. I'm like,
what are our babies gonna look like?
Yeah, exactly. What are our babies gonna look like? They're gonna be beautiful children. So I immediately like hopped on that bandwagon, and I was like, this is cool, and I was excited to date her. I was genuinely excited, and then I find out like I felt this like energy of pulling back, and I can always detect it really early when a woman's doing that. Like they're interested, but they're like they got one foot out, one foot in, one foot out, and she had that about her for some reason. And she goes, "Look, I want to be real with you. I have this guy back home in Chicago. You know, we're sort of a thing still. I just want to like let you know that, and I'm gonna be going back to Chicago. I just want to make sure you know we're on the same page." I'm like, okay, not exactly sure what to do with that. So she goes home to Chicago. And I'm like, well, I'm moving on then. Because I'm not going to be waiting around for you while you know, get, you know...
whatever you need.
A bowling pin from someone else. So...
a bowling pin? What?
I just assumed the guy was tall and black. That's the thing that popped into my head.
Bowling pins are short and small.
Have you seen a bowling pin? They're like this fucking big.
I've always been very distant from them, so no.
Oh yeah, so do you think the sun is this big? So, okay, so anyway, so anyway,
I got.
So what happens is I've moved on, and then I found a new girl, and we started dating. And then the girl comes back into town from Chicago, and she's like tousling my hair, and she's like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Yes, so I think we should just be friends." That was actually really hard to do. She was kind of like really disappointed for some reason. I think it's because the guy in Chicago, what happened was she came back and she was like, "Yeah, that's over. That's what happened." She's like, "Don't worry about it. It's over now." I'm like, "Yeah, but this is over too. I'm so sorry."
How are you going to be playing rebound?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
You're on the other team now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Please.
So I think what happened for her in that moment was like she was doubly rejected because the guy in Chicago, you know, wasn't interested, and then the guy home in LA wasn't interested.
And thus, bringing it full circle, that you're good with women. At least burning them.
No, I'm so bad at it. Okay, I have another one for you guys. So there was this girl who I met through a party. It was like one of the few times I went to a party and met a girl and had the confidence to talk to her. And we go on a date. We go to watch Kung Fu Panda 2. And it goes well. We have a good time. We go on another date. We eat or something that goes well. And I'm too afraid to kiss her because I'm really bad when it comes to the first kiss. We go to a third date and we kiss and it's great and we have a good time. And then I tell her a joke. I said something like, I had a dream of you in a green lizard skin bikini thing. Like, it was a joke. But she took it as like, because she was on Weight Watchers or something like that. But like, I didn't see her as like grotesquely fat. Like, she was just, you know, slightly plus size, but not in a gross way.
Oh, baby, what is you doing?
Right. So I said that to her and she goes, "No, don't do that. That's gross. You shouldn't think of me that way." When I told her what I was just joking. It wasn't an actual dream I had. I just was like trying to make her feel good about herself. And when that happened, I realized that she had a really, really, really low self-esteem. and I was not prepared to deal with that. Like, I think I'm already dealing with my shit. I can't deal with yours too. So I called her up, and I was like, I wanted to meet her in person and be like, hey, I think we should just be friends. But it ended up happening on the phone while I was driving. This is before it was illegal.
Oh.
And
You're not good at all.
and I was no, I meant to talk to her in person, but she's like, no, what's up? What do you want to talk about? We can talk on the phone. I'm like, fuck.
There's an episode of Seinfeld about this.
And so I'm like, look, I think we should just be friends if that's cool. She's like, that's fine. That's cool. That's cool. That's no big deal. No, whatever. Click.
I hope you're still out there.
Yeah. And so I'm not really the best with that stuff.
I see.
Yeah. So don't give me credit for anything with regards to smoothness. I'm not smooth. I'm a jagged sandpaper when it comes to starting things or ending things. That's the truth.
That's why you're so bad at ending this video.
I think that should be the end of the video.
Nailed it.
Yeah. No, we should end on a positive note. The point is, despite being sandpaper Jaby, despite being fat sandpaper Jaby, you still try. I still try, and I have my successes and my failures. But all you need is one good success. That's it. Like Ricky.
Nah, boo.
He
Nah, boo. I'm real successful for 6 months.
What? You've been going on 5 years.
I'm talking about these 6 months. I got big success temporarily.
Oh, you're talking about your job? I'm talking about women. I'm just strictly talking about women.
That was a battlefield.
Love is a battlefield.
You had to ruin it. It's like a white newscaster saying something after the Soulful Brothers say something. You know?
It's a song, if you guys don't know. Love is a battlefield.
Love is a battlefield.
Yeah.
Traffic at 5.
You know what? I have something to admit. Well, this is... it makes me like frustrated and angry when I see happy couples.
You got problems inside.
Just when it seems just obnoxiously, unrealistically happy, I'm like, fuck you. That's not real.
Oh, you hate people in the honeymoon phase.
Yes.
Everyone do.
Yeah, it just looks gross. It's like, shut up, go home, get a room, fuck off. No one wants to see that shit.
Especially when I'm at like Disneyland, I don't want to see you like all over each other. Like,
Right.
Don't get a room. Jump off a bridge.
Jump off.
Don't do that. Listen to that Logic song. Hotline for 1-800 is beautiful.
I don't even know what
I'm
you're
gonna
talking
make you watch
about.
that video.
You're saying a lot of things right now that are losing me, and therefore you're probably losing the audience.
You've been drinking.
It's empty.
Exactly.
I'm sober now.
That's not how this works.
This is. I'm good to drive. I'll drive you home, Ricky.
Okay.
Oh wait, this is your home. Okay. So, Sandpaper Jaby recommends you keep trying anyway. Is that the new?
No, the way you gotta come full circle is give advice on how to be good with women and or people.
Okay. My first advice is to dress good. My second advice.
I know what you're talking about.
Don't dress like Ricky. I don't know. I don't know how he got Stephanie.
I don't look at.
He
I know how I got Stephanie. I
scored
shaved
gold.
my head. I took off the glasses and
did a lightsaber fight.
I'm good.
And
I'm good with sticks. That doesn't sound right. I'm good. I'm just good.
Oh, you're talking about lightsabers.
Yes.
I thought you were talking about
No.
pickup sticks.
I never played.
Okay, this is obviously like we're down to like one person who's still watching this, so we're gonna conclude this video here. If you guys are still here, if you're still watching this video, I ask you to please comment below and say pickup sticks, and or say I love pickup sticks or pickup sticks are my favorite thing. Anything that has to do with pickup sticks, just mention it in the comments so that other people who didn't stick around and are looking at the comments now will be like, what the hell is everyone talking about? I'm Jaby Kuwait. Thanks so much for hanging out, and follow Raw 2.0 on the social media. Peace out.
Send nudes.